Why are keyboards like this and not like this? This problem has irritated me for a long time now. The short answer is nobody really knows. The long answer is a very complicated series of possible reasons, any one of which may or may not be correct. Let's take a look at why. Before there were keyboards, there were typewriters. This is where keyboards got their layout, now known as the QWERTY layout, after the letters on the top row. The first thing like a typewriter was made in 1575 by Francesco Rampazzetto, but I couldn't find any images or sources for what this looked like. In 1875, Rasmus Malling Hansen of Denmark made this monstrosity, but the first time we actually care about the typewriter was in 1868, when the first commercially successful model was made by Christopher Scholes, Carlos Glidden, and Samuel Soule in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The layout of their machine looked like this. As you can see, this layout does make some logical sense. The letters are alphabetical, with the first half of the alphabet and even numbers on the bottom, and the second half of the alphabet and odd numbers on the top. To test their machine, they sent it along to James O'Clefane, a stenographer in Washington, D.C., who subjected these to such rigorous tests that he, quote, destroyed them, one after the other, as fast as they could be made and sent to him. Apparently, his feedback was so negative that it caused Scholes to quit the project altogether and refuse to use any typewriter made by the inventors again. Regardless, in 1879 they sold their patent to Remington and Sons, who began manufacturing typewriters with the QWERTY layout we all know and love. So how did keyboards go from this to this in only 3 years? We probably won't ever know the exact steps the design went through to get to this point, but many people have put forth various theories as to why this might be. My first thought was that the layout was designed to put more frequently used letters in the middle of the keyboard, but looking at the most common letters in English proved that was a dud. Some web pages have suggested that commonly used combinations of 2 or more letters caused the little bars that stamp out the letters to collide, jamming the machine, so the most frequently used combinations were placed further apart. The most common letter combinations in English are TH, HE, AN, IN, ER, ND, RE, ED, ES, OU, TO, HA, EN, EA, ST, NT, IN, AT, HI, and AS. So, if we take any 2 keys touching as being 1 space apart, that puts the average weighted distance at about 2.84 keys apart. That isn't too close, but it isn't too far either, especially with common combos like ER and AS being only 1 space apart. A third theory was that the layout we have was designed so that a user could write the word typewriter using only the top row, which is technically possible, but come on. I mean, the letters aren't even in order. But something must have caused the QWERTY keyboard to become the most popular, at least in English-speaking countries. After all, the late 1800s were full of different keyboard designs, so what makes this one so special? In my opinion, the answer lies in alternating hands. Studies have shown that typing letters with alternating hands is much faster than just using one. Typing a letter with the right hand allows the user to prepare the left hand to type the next letter, and vice versa. And here is where the QWERTY keyboard really shines. It's estimated that around 3,000 words can be typed with only the left hand, while only about 300 can be typed with the right. You may notice that this makes typing slightly easier for left-handed people. Regardless, the second edition of the Oxford English Dictionary, published in 1989, contains entries for 171,476 words. That means that about 98% of all words in the English language must be typed with both hands, which, as we said, actually speeds up the typing process. Granted, this statistic does not account for word frequency, but we can still infer that the QWERTY keyboard forces the user to alternate hands, which helps you type faster.